Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of The Worst Heroes You Know, a Tales of the Valiant actual play sponsored by Coldwell Press and premiering right here in its entirety on whichever platform you happen to be watching it on, including but not limited to YouTube, Twitch, and the charred remains of what was once TikTok. As always, I am HamaSamaKun, your dungeon master for this evening, and before we get into our penultimate episode, let's get to know our party. Starting with C, tell the people who you are and who you're playing.
That scared the crap out of me. Hi, everyone. My name is Sia. I use they, them pronouns, and you can find me making very trans, very gay art on the internet. C Plays RPG. And tonight I have the absolute pleasure of playing for perhaps the second to last time until you give us money to do a season 2. I'm throwing the pitch here right immediately as soon as we start.
Hear me out,
I'm
Bubble
playing.
Press.
Yeah, come on. We're right here. We're right here. Penultimate? I don't think so. I'm playing Omen, who uses they, them pronouns as well.
6 seasons and a movie. Throwing it over to Kappa. Tell people who you are and who you're playing.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kappa. Christian is okay too. I use any and all pronouns. You can find me on the internet at the Kappa Chris. I play our lovely vampire Artor Basil Kane, ABC, aka Artie, who uses he/him pronouns. That's it, right? That's all you asked for? Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Cool.
everything. We've only done 4 episodes thus far.
Listen, there's
We're
been
doing
a
great.
huge break. Come on.
That is so true. God, I love the holidays. Anyway, Sam, take it away.
Doing our best to remember. I'm Sam, anywhere online at Sam, S-E-U-M, or just Sam, J-U-S-T-S-E-U-M. I also create a lot of D&D TTRPG content, but for charity APs. Pronounce she, her, which are the same as our lovely Odd, who is just the most peculiar little egg druid. That's about it.
So true.
Yeah.
Lovely. And take us home, Lamar.
Top of the morning to you, lasses, both, neither, and everyone in between. My name is Lamar the Con Guy, L-E-M-A-R, the Con Guy. I use he, him pronouns, and I do whatever gets me attention, online or on stage. I am playing our lovely, completely normal, not insane in any way, shape, or form, adorable, sweet, and innocent Nana Maisel, who uses she, her pronouns.
Amazing. Well, with all that out of the way, pull up a seat, dear viewer, abandon your New Year's resolution, and allow us to tell you the tale of the worst heroes you know. Part 5. A Platinum Cross. The sting of betrayal and the intoxication of something new. These sensations fight for dominance in your minds as with each passing moment, you grow closer and closer to the sight of home. You'd hoped that the next time you stepped foot in the city, it would be as famous heroes. But now you're not even sure what that means. Because the thing is, you can't be a famous hero. Sooner or later, you have to choose which one matters more. And that choice can tell you a lot about who you are, or who you'll become. So I ask you this as our story draws ever closer to its conclusion. Who do you want to be at the end of all this? We'll start with Odd.
Like being amongst all of her friends, and that's what they are to her now. They are her friends. She has found most of what she never knew she desired, and that was just a closeness to other people who also desired a similar closeness to her. I don't think that there's much more in her own heart of hearts that she's seeking other than the success for those around her. She wants to be there. She wants to give a hand. She wants to help them win in the way that they see success in their life of winning. That's what she wants in the end.
Artur, who do you want to be at the end of this adventure?
Oh, man. I mean, at the end of this adventure and beyond, from here on until the end of my life, really, which could be very, very soon, someone that pays honor and lives up to the sacrifice that Nana Maisel has set herself up for. In that deal, in that bargain, Artie wanted to be the one because he hasn't lived up to anything in his life. His life hasn't meant anything, at least he doesn't think it has. And a grand sacrifice like this, even if no one knows about it, would have saved the world. And his life would have meant something. But whether it was cowardice or just confusion, misunderstanding the situation, Nan Maisel was the one who spoke up first, and it weighs heavily, this guilt, that he wasn't the one to be there. And so the last remaining hours, minutes, days, who knows how long, will be to live up to that memory.
Let me see as the camera sort of pans over past you, back into the back of the carriage, and we see Maisel. Your story's a little different, or at least the question I'm going to ask. Since you've lived such a long and fruitful and tragic life, it's not so much who you want to be, but rather, who do you want to be remembered as?
Point in Nana's life. Holding so many titles, winning so many battles, slaying so many countless bodies, armor rusted in blood, stains upon her own skin of those battles, seeing heartbreak and pain and crying and suffering. The one thing Nana wants to be known for is just as Nana. She doesn't want a title. She doesn't want fame. She doesn't want fortune. She doesn't even want to pick up a sword anymore. She wants these 3 young heroes to rise to their occasion and then walk away simply as Nana.
And that brings us to our last member of the party, Omen. Yours is also an interesting case, as your family often has one foot in the future at all times. So who you decide to be or who you are is always a clear image, but as of late, that image has grown fuzzier and fuzzier over time until eventually you find yourself forming an almost kinship with the people around you who have no idea what the future holds. So with all that in mind, who do you want to be?
Omen is seated on the very back of the carriage. Their feet are dangling out over the lip of it as the road is kind of trundling out behind them. And they're facing the past instead of facing the future, like every good member of the Corvus ought to do. Always face the future, always look forward, never live in the moment, and never ever live in the past. Always look toward the future. But Omen is reflecting, waiting, sitting quietly amongst their friends also. And I think it's exactly as you've said. Omen has no idea who they want to be. And there is something beautiful about that. And there's something freeing about that too. That they have no idea.
See as the camera sort of lingers for a bit, and then rises up into the sky to see the full moon. As it disappears behind the clouds and we match cut to yet another day, the burning sun that shines down on your party. Your group has a little bit before you reach the city. Is there anything you'd like to do or discuss before you get there?
We should probably talk about what we're gonna do when we get back, right?
Probably a good idea.
Do you have an idea?
Well, if everything's on the up and up and goes to plan, we should be able to walk through the front doors, tell the king what's happened about the transgression of the most famous heroes in the city, and justice will prevail, which is something that's definitely happened many times in my life and it's never backfired.
That's true.
Just out of complete curiosity and not pertaining to any particular visions about mismatched socks that I had last night, what if that doesn't happen? Just like as a complete hypothetical.
Oh, well, historically, whenever any of my plans don't work, I start slaying people.
Do we have to?
Oh, no,
I'm
you
not
can be
very good at
slain.
that.
That's always a possibility.
Oh, like we slay? Or like we slay?
Nana looks over to Artie. Language has changed so much. Does slay have a different meaning now?
I picked it up on the road.
It means something really, really bad or something really, really good. Like, you know?
I realized how confusing I made that.
It could also be something to transport goods.
3 slays.
So it's either a
Solid.
bad thing, a good thing, or a transportation method?
That gives me an idea. I mean,
What?
okay. So, what if we don't tell just the king? Right? I mean, we tell the king for sure. But what if we also tell someone like Elizabeth, or maybe Brina? I just don't think we should put all of our eggs in one basket, right? What? That's generally what we're not supposed to do.
That's correct, because that way, if something hits them, not all of them crack. You want to keep
There.
others safe for basically another plan.
Well,
And I mean, it makes sense too. Everyone has been betrayed, just like we have. Even in the higher ranked guilds than us at Worst House, none of them have had the opportunity either. Maybe they'll feel the same way that we did if they knew the truth.
the enemies of my enemies are my friends. It would behoove us to get more people to help us.
Okay. So who's the enemy of Platinum Cross?
Everyone who's
Us.
had a missive taken, right? I also think us. I think we're the enemies of the Platinum Cross.
but
They killed us.
On a social standpoint, it's anyone beneath them. Anyone who has been denied an opportunity, anyone who's been looked over, anyone who feels as if they're the worst because of their lies and treachery.
You don't think the complete societal love for the Platinum Cross would... I mean, they throw parades for them all the time.
What if we
Yeah,
throw
but we
a bigger
won't-
parade?
I mean, we used to go to the parades. I wanted to be a member of the Platinum Cross one day, just like most people did. But everything changed when we were, betrayed completely in our worldview and society completely. So, maybe a little bit of that can I can try talking to the other members of the Corvus.
Do you need help?
What?
Do you need help?
Yes, I'm more than willing to go with you.
What about the eggs in the basket metaphor?
We can
Well, your
split the
basket's
party. That's always been great.
In your basket's a giant brick castle. It's a pretty strong basket.
Obsidian castle, but yeah.
Stronghold.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my eyes.
As
aren't
a
as good.
big egg carton.
With a lot of stairs.
Oh,
Mhm.
Is there a lot to stay? Do y'all have
That's not good for eggs.
magical ways of lifting? by
Yeah,
chance?
we have a chairlift.
Oh, fantastic! Yes, let's go to the giant obsidian
Really smart.
basket. Well, so if I understand this correctly, we are going to at least tell Elizabeth because she is, well, second in command. We definitely should tell the commander. We should tell the Corvus. We should spread the word amongst those in the lower levels. And then hopefully we'll have enough backing that when we make our final stand, we won't stand alone.
Okay, so that's 3. We can tell the king.
And Brina.
Yeah, that might be tricky, but we can try. I can try.
We'll go with you. If you need it. It takes a lot less stairs anyway.
And don't forget, you are the master of darkness. You shall take hold of it.
A master of darkness, not the master of darkness.
Potato, potato.
And our friend here will be the pin in all of this, the nail in the metaphorical coffin. Because you were, and all the notes we have, and all the evidence, and an eyewitness account who's not even with us, so it's not like,
I mean, yeah, I'm well aware of all their plans. I'm just kind of the whole linchpin in it, but you got my notes.
Wait, so we should keep you safe, right? Because if we know you're the linchpin, they know you're the linchpin. They're gonna want us to do everything.
I mean, there is a reason they shot at us as we were leaving. So,
okay, we can hide you. I think we can find a safe enough place.
worst house.
My house.
Your
I
house
have
is
I have a
not-
I have a coffee
also
table that you can totally fit in.
I am also a changeling. Just putting that out there.
Actually,
You want to be a
that's
chicken?
Not really how it works, but I like the idea.
Well,
Why not?
first thing, no one can be a better chicken than you could ever be.
This is so true. You're correct.
I know, I tend to be. But, changeling, is it just your physical form, or can you also imitate clothing and armor?
I'm as long as it isn't too complicated. Armor might be a little bit much, but generally speaking, I can change my form to look like, as he kind of looks over at Artur, and there's a brief shimmer, and they are now essentially a carbon copy. Something along those lines.
That's what I look like?
Handsome.
Oh, yeah, you're a yeah, this is, yeah. At least as close as I could get. It might be a little,
Well, Artie hasn't seen himself in so long, I'm assuming.
I'm like fixing my hair and everything.
It doesn't, okay. He's just, like, kind of trying to match you, to, like, give you a general idea, but it kind of just turns back to the group.
Well, the reason I ask is, at the very least, you could impersonate a god and escort us inside without raising alarms. A horse of particular battle, if you will.
You spent a lot of time with them. You could even, if it comes down to it, perhaps a plan like Z or something. You could pretend to be a member of the Platinum Cross.
That is true. I have a lot of experience with their group. Yeah, I leave it in your hands. I'm not really the idea guy. I just build things and sometimes shapeshift. Those are the two things I've got in my toolkit.
Don't worry, we have your back. But we have an idea of what we need to do. Go to Worst House, go to the Corvus, and then spread the word amongst those at the last district. And then after that, We make a unified stand. We go to the king. With enough people on our side, they will have to listen.
And okay, so we give everyone 1 day, 2 days to mobilize.
As much time as we can without getting caught, I think.
I doubt we have much time. They have vehicles that can cut through the sky. We should probably move as quickly as possible.
Okay.
Your journey back is long. Sun rises, sets, and rises again until eventually you see the walled city of Relay peeking over the horizon. And it's like you're seeing it for the first time. Who knows what awaits you behind its iron gates? All you do know is that whatever it is, you'll face it together. As you approach, the first thing you notice is that the gates are closed. While by no means leaving itself unguarded, Relay is known for its sort of open door policy. Anyone is allowed in, allowed to stake their claim, but here they are, these mighty gates that tower over the world within, shut tight and guarded by a familiar crest, the Platinum Cross. As your carriage kind of starts to pull up a little bit closer, they haven't noticed you yet, but you find your re-entry may be a little bit more difficult than you had originally hoped. As you can see, several guards stationed along the top of the wall. You have 2 directly next to the gate, and you gather there's most likely some form of mechanism that requires them to, work in tandem to open it, as there are these huge, gear chain things next to the sides, on either side of the door.
It's wrong, right?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Huh.
So, okay. We
Um,
either sneak in or we lie our way past, right?
we could try Operation Vegetable Cart. You could transform into a farmer, chicken it up, and we can hide in some crates and just hope they don't. You know what I mean?
I think we
Huh?
have the same brain. I was going to suggest the exact same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I had a dream the other night about you working at a a farm stand. So I've just been thinking about it a normal amount and not a lot.
I love vegetables. That means I'd be good.
Yeah, you
Dramatic.
looked really cute with the big basket.
Oh, I like that too. The only issue is I can't always change to a chicken. So, what's the plan if I am not chicken?
Well, if you're not a chicken, then you'll probably be the most loving, helpful farm pup there has ever been, which would still make sense.
A chicken chaser.
Yes.
I gotcha.
There is also a bit of another issue, just also putting this out there. This is not a cart, this is a carriage, as kind of points over to these enclosed Victorian style carriage, full Bridgerton style that you've been riding around in.
Oh no.
Changeling into a princess.
I mean, I can do that. What's the plan there?
You're the princess chicken.
Okay. All right. You can see there's a bit of the light in Vale's eyes, kind of hopeful for the future, just dies a little bit.
What season would we currently be in? Are we spring, summer, fall, winter?
This would be around summer-ish, I think, towards the middle of the year.
Well, and Nana takes a look at the carriage. He goes, "Does anyone have any love for this carriage by chance, or would you mind if we decorated this a little bit?"
Was this a rental?
It was a loan. They gave it to you while you so that you could leave.
I feel like Elizabeth would understand the circumstances that we're currently in.
Look,
A predicament.
all I'm saying is if we do a little bit of renovation, cut the top of it, fill it with leaves and lumber. Simply put me and Omen underneath all of that. In this world, Zuati, I'm so sorry. It could look like a farmer's cart with the right modifications. We just have to make sure we strip of any significance, and then it would be lose a little bit of structural integrity, but we only need it to last for a couple of more yards.
Wait a minute. What if instead of farmers we were rat catchers? On our way into the city, because no one has been around to take the rat catching quests. It must be overrun. That place, I bet the gate's probably closed because there are so many rats inside, right? You know, there's so many. They're just trying to keep them in. It's like one big basement in there, and we. It's like what we. Omen is a little bit. They're getting closer and closer, and they're starting to like sweat a little more. You can see it like on the outer parts of their silver mask. They look a little deranged under there. Rats! We're here for the rats! Right? We could say it like that.
How do you say that again? Rats.
Rats! We're here for the rats!
You got a flare.
I can't.
I wasn't ready for any of that.
Give me the rats.
We're here to take your rats away!
Please, come get your rats.
Oh, it's a flawless plan.
Great.
You do. You watch this Vale, like, it's like on board. It's like, I mean, yeah, I figure use what you know to your advantage. I could probably fit the cart to maybe look a little less fancy, but ultimately disguises are kind of on you guys.
I can disguise myself pretty well. Watch this. Omen takes the mask off,
Oh no.
puts it down, and they take the cloak off, and they put it down, and they just kind of stand there. See, I'm like a completely different person. I feel completely naked.
Who are you?
I know. I don't recognize myself, really.
What do you look like?
Good question.
Yes.
What does Omen look like under the mask? We have
Yeah,
a
'cause we
character
haven't
art,
seen-
but I would love to hear the
I literally
description.
just
Yeah.
picture a naked man right now, and I don't like that.
Without
all-
the silver mask and the heavy, like, cloak of feathers, Omen just looks like a tall string pole goth with long white hair pulled back. A little bit of gauntness in the face, a little bit of like the dark shimmer of their eyes reflects in the funny way, but they just kind of look tall and awkward without all the stuff, keeping like without the priestly like bird goth thing going.
I'm imagining like a less put together Sephiroth.
Yeah, yeah, it's like Sephiroth in his like loungewear, you know? What I mean?
Yeah, a budget Sephiroth.
Wow.
Just like Sephiroth on an off day.
But
Yeah.
you also are a bird. Put up your one wing.
Each
Boom.
episode
One
Final
wing
Fantasy,
Omen.
let's go.
Oh my god. So Omen's disguise is kind of
So-
like start like pulling the cart over to the side and they begin working. It's like this will take, like 20-30 minutes. You guys just do what you got to do. It's kind of looks over at Omen because everyone here has only ever seen you with the mask on and just kind of like, huh. Immediately gets to work.
So we're tearing this apart right now? Is that what we're doing?
Currently, Vale is trying to retrofit it so it doesn't look as put together, but ultimately
okay.
leaves the four of you to kind of figure out your plan, your disguises, what you're going to say, as they are just going to probably shapeshift and keep to themselves just to, they're not an adventurer.
I only brought hoodies and skinny jeans. This is gonna be rough.
Well, you'll look like Omen then.
But then, wait. But
Oh.
then we just have another omen.
Artie, don't forget about that special cream I gave to help you fight the sun. If you get a lot of it.
Okay. So I this is gonna be rough. Artie makeshifts a disguise using Omen's mask, the sun screen, the sunblock, and as many like maybe even Omen's cloak and any extra things to like make it look like a whole bunch of like, I don't know, cloths are like just to obscure the torso as much as possible. The sunblock is like here, right? Bottom half of the face completely white, and then the mask is upside down and up here, so it's coming out like a horn.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, I like it.
How'd I look?
Perfect.
Different.
Niceable.
That's good, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll recognize your fangs if you
Oh,
bare your teeth like that. Yeah.
okay.
They're like
There-
that. Like
there
a
you go.
gummy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ow. Do birds have teeth? Hey, Omen, smile. Yeah, looks like it. Kind of.
I'm not a bird.
That's right.
Always will you smile?
Watches always the pigeon, not disguised, but it's a pigeon. Nobody's gonna tell. Just kind of like opens its beak because I don't think birds possess the ability to smile. It's just
No teeth.
Sick. All right, let's see if I'm a chicken or a wolf. And she just kind of like starts concentrating real hard. And I will flip a coin. If it's heads, I'm a chicken. If it's tails, I got a tail. Almost comically, you start to just see plumes of feathers appearing all over her body. And one of these like nested little eggs that have been in her messy hair just kind of grow and carry it a bit more gracefully as you see her lower and lower to the ground. And she puts her head down and this nest kind of slides down with a little egg in it. And you see a chicken Odd.
Nice. Looking good, Odd.
You did it.
Very good.
and with that leaves Nana Maisel. Are you putting together a disguise, or are you just gonna do your best?
While all that's been happening, you see Nana like clapping, but also kneeling down. She's grabbed mud from the ground and has been slowly integrated into her white hair to make it look more dyed. She not only like pulls it through and wraps it under so it looks like she has like, she kind of braids it so it looks like she has a mustache. And the rest of it, she takes her big purple cloth that is, yeah, exactly like that. She takes her big purple robe that's been covering most of her body, and she actually wraps it around her head so it looks kind of like a head wrap and stuff like that. So she has this big long beard, she has this large head wrap, and you see her nothing but her giant armor. And says, I don't believe anyone has ever seen me like this, so this should do just fine.
Ah! Oh my god. Nana Maisel, you scared me. I didn't know who you were for a minute.
No, it's just me, Nana. It's just, my name is Ethel. Yes, Ethel! Paisel. I am Ethel Paisel. Yes. From a land down under. Yes. Ethel Paisel.
Like hell? Or
It feels like it sometimes. Yes.
With that, Vale has finished work. You can see now this once immaculate carriage has kind of been stripped of its like gilded finishings, and you know he like cracked one of the windows and has essentially just rendered into like a barely functional like carriage cart, like hybrid.
is there like on the side written Omen would request this rats written.
Just rats.
Just
Rats.
written.
Yeah.
Just full caps, like
Yeah.
no real
Rats.
just rats.
Is it a Z at the end?
But the Z's really small because no one measured out how much space.
Yeah, no, it's clearly like one of the letters
It's a
is
rat.
rats. I want to imagine, like, you know, they're this like very competent builder, but primarily with like, you know, automatons, you know, machinery. You know, graphic design is not their passion, right? So as they
Wait. Could Odd basically use her beak to write rats into the side of this?
You know what? I like that better, actually. Yeah, let's go with that. You have this, like, half scratch, half, like, pecking, like, indents into the, like, sort of, like, what was once, like, fine, polished wood that is just, it just says rats, and you're not even really sure if that's what it says.
This is
It just
good.
kind of looks like somebody, like, took a Tommy gun to the side of this thing.
This is good.
Like, yeah, Tommy got his perfect description.
You just watch his Vale kind of like, you know, I did the best I could. Odd helped quite a bit, but I think we're ready to go.
Yes! I'm so proud of you, farmer. Man,
Just-
person. Very good.
You watch as they kind of like transform from their like, you know, default changeling to just kind of like a semi like a middle-aged farmer. Just like, do I also have to do a voice, or are we just...
Sorry, I thought you meant like a semi, like a truck. Like, that's so farmer.
Your name is John, my dear. Your name is
My-
John.
Okay, my name is John. Got it.
John
okay,
Deere.
cool. All right. Who's driving? Who's gonna be doing the talking? I guess is my question.
Ooh.
So why am I still a farmer if you guys are rat catchers?
Because we need someplace to put the rats, obviously.
On this person.
On your rat farm.
On my rat. Okay, so I'm a rat farmer.
Yes.
They're like genuinely like there's pleading
See?
in their eyes of like, I need this to make sense. I beg of you.
See, you've done this.
I know, and I'm sorry, but I'm also not.
Okay, so my name is John. I operate a rat farm. You guys are putting the rats on my farm. Got it. I'm gonna sit in the back now.
Very good.
And I provide the breakfast.
Okay, who's driving the car?
Ah,
I'll drive.
I
I'll
regret
drive.
to inform everyone that I have a pretty high charisma.
Oh,
oh,
it's the return of the voice.
Yes.
I could use some backup though. Maybe we could double up here.
Artie and Omen into front. Let's go.
No charisma
Pretty
and
good.
high charisma.
Perfect.
Let's
I have
go.
high charisma as
Nothing.
well.
Oh,
Oh man.
You're
Wait,
technically
the chicken on our lap.
Chicken. Wait.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know how like you can charismatic and then go like.
You're a charismatic. Remember that Rockadoo from the
Oh my
90s?
god, Rocket.
Wow, I haven't seen that in like 30 years.
Oh my god.
I think it's been close to that for me. Yeah.
It was Don Bluth movie, so it would have been
Yep.
like what, like 90s?
Oh,
80s?
early 90s, like
Early
91.
90s, yeah. Man.
Anyway.
Wow.
Anyway,
Ah!
so as what was it? Ethel,
Yeah.
the chicken, and Farmer John get into the back of the cart. Omen and Artie, you kind of take point as the carriage starts rolling up to the city gates, and you can see they're immediately on edge as you approach. A lot of them have their spears trained on you. You can see as two of the like ballista start to aim down. You see as a human, this pretty, you know, average-looking individual. I will say, at the very least, though, Artie, you recognize this person. This is one of the guards from the very beginning of our story that mocked you on your way to the place, to Worst House, as they kind of walk up. State your business.
we're here for the rats.
What the fuck does that mean?
We're a group of rat farming catchers, rat catching farmers, actually, and we heard you got a huge rat problem inside. I'm sorry.
We have to do this entire scene with that voice. I just hope you know.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Alright,
This is my own hubris.
I wasn't made aware of any. Was it rat catching farmers that were supposed to come in today? As he kind of turns over to the other guy.
Yeah, we just have a sixth sense for this kind of thing. You know what I mean? We just know that there are rats in there. Rats up and down, rats on the roof, rats in the cellar, rats in the castle, and rats in all your houses.
Let's see how long that would go for. Oh, okay. I mean, I could.
You ever
go
been
check.
bitten by a rat? You ever have your entire livelihood destroyed by the vermin?
I can't say that I have.
You ever lived through the
So-
double black plague?
What is the double black
You don't
plague?
want to know.
Never.
Okay. Well, I could check with maybe my superior, see if you're on the arrivals list. I guess just.
You want your house to be full of rats?
Not particularly. At least not after seeing this.
This
Make
is what
me a-
being around rats does to you. We've been around rats every day of my fucking life for years. It's rats every day, rats every other day, and rats in the morning, rats in the afternoon, and rats in the evening.
Yeah, but
Is that how you want to live? Because that's not how I want to live anymore. I want something more. I want something more than rats. I need something more than rats. I want to live a better life. Do you want to live a better life?
Amen.
Make me a deception
Conviction.
check at advantage. Oh my god.
I think we should take. I think you should
Oh.
take 20. Just take a 10. Just take a 20 on that. Oh my god. that's good.
Oh my god.
All right, that was
Ah.
an 8 on the first one,
Oh no.
19 on the second one,
Jesus
19 plus
Christ.
3, 20.
I just want you to know you would have succeeded even with the 8 because I rolled a 1. So the stars align. He kind of like looks at you and is like more and more frantic as you just keep screaming about rats. And it's just okay. I'll just as you start screaming about your life, it's like are you okay? I'm not trained to deal with. You know what? Just go. Open the gates. Open the gates. We don't want to deal with this. It's kind of like watch as you walk past as this like entire like I want song basically occurred in front of them as you are permitted entry. As a lot of they are still training the ballista, but the sheer strangeness of what just occurred kind of throws off all of their all their like intuition when it comes to threats as you are let into the city proper. You watch as the gate closes behind you with the huge metal creaking and shuts, leaving you in the city of Relay. What is your first move as Vale is in the back like, I can't believe that worked.
I changed back into odd.
Sorry
Feathers
about
everywhere.
that. Sorry, I really needed to get that off my chest. I think I was really holding on to some of the old resentment from the.
Wow.
I feel
No,
better.
That's very much okay.
You
Uh,
should get a Meyer for that.
IT.
That's an
Mm.
Oscar
Okay, then.
joke.
That was fantastic. I wasn't. God damn it.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
That was fantastic.
I'm really sorry. I can't stop doing the voice. I'm stuck.
No, let me help you. Omen like sticks their hand into your mouth basically to like fix whatever it is you're doing.
Taking his lips off of his
They're like, yeah. There you go. There you go.
one gets caught in it.
Okay. Stop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Just here.
And I'm wiping off the sunblock.
Go and take my mask back and put it back on. Smells like that weird stuff.
It's actually really effective, and I start wiping it everywhere else.
You are protected.
Okay, so what's first?
Uh, First thing, I've never been more proud of you three. Even when we almost died, this was the most proud thing I've ever seen. Two, worst house, Corvus, last district, the Ratwood district.
Worst house. Let's go to worst house.
Yeah, because geographically it's like closer, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So as your group rides this, battered carriage that says rats on it all the way to Worst House, you sort of take a few back alleys just to keep out of sight. You can see the city is definitely on edge. There are more guards walking the streets than there have ever been. And as you continue on your journey, you see why. You had all been sort of focused with, keeping hidden, getting through whatever you want to consider that first part of this. But as you start to get closer to the city, to like the proper, residential areas, you see a huge illusion casted up higher than most of the buildings on most of the street corners. It's Saga. And you could see he's depicted as sort of broken in places, the armor cracked, bleeding from the mouth as he says, "A long time ago, this city was chaos, till we brought order, structure, silence to the raging storm. We gave you hope. We gave you security. But in the end, we cannot defend you from enemies we cannot find. Some of you may know that recently 4 members of Worst House undertook a quest to slay the risen god, but they fell to his influence." You can see as there's sort of that dramatic pause. The anger, the hate, he used it against them. We only wanted to help, but they turned on us. We have reason to believe they're here amongst us. If you see them, report them immediately. As you all kind of hide. You can see as a handful of people on the streets. Some of them are kind of tuning it out, having probably seen this before, but a few of them are looking around kind of suspiciously. Now I address the so-called heroes of Worst House. We understand your pain, but please, think about your loved ones. What would they say if they saw you now? Turn yourselves in and let justice run its course. We can get you the help you need. No one else needs to get hurt. As there's just that brief pause. And you can see almost as if the illusion is looking straight at your group. You can trust us. As the message repeats. So eventually,
Do we believe this? If it's repeating in your head constantly.
Well, back when I needed to spread propaganda, repetition was one of the best ways to do it. If you say it enough times, people would believe you.
I think I lean like with all this, I lean over to Omen. Do you think we should keep the disguises up while we're driving? Someone might notice us.
We should probably, at least, maybe it would have been a lot easier to just wear cloaks the first time. But yeah, we should probably keep the disguises on.
Okay. Mask back. Horn.
As you eventually make it to Worst House, you are met with an unfamiliar sight. Normally, the streets are empty, but now there is an angry mob gathered outside. Your prototypical torches and pitchforks, as they are shouting for your heads, and Elizabeth is kind of out. They aren't here. I don't know what's. Please, just calm down. As they are continuing to get angrier and angrier as they look over in your direction, Elizabeth. It kind of catches the gleam of the silver mask.
Nope.
As I said, leave the property. I won't be taking any more questions on this. Just go home. As kind of walk in and the door's shut. As the crowd continues to shout and ramble and scream, but you're aware of like the other entrances into the guild hall.
I was gonna say, like go in through the basement or something.
Or Assassin's Creed over, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, sort of for expediency, you do manage to kind of park the cart, get inside, and you are welcomed back to the site of Worst House. It's sort of ramshackle fixtures, the dirty plates in the dishes, the, very TGI Fridays-esque tchotchkes on the wall. But, normally when you'd walk in here defeated, it feels like a breath of fresh air to be somewhere that's so familiar and so real. As Elizabeth is currently at her desk, just trying to process as you all walk in.
Elizabeth, we're home.
Just as they kind of look up, they look so tired. I can see that. As they kind of look a little bit, what are you wearing?
Oh, nothing. And as I basically shove the mask back on Woman's face.
What did you guys do?
We went on the quest and uncovered the biggest secret. This is going to change everything we know. Everything that they're saying right now is a lie. There was no, what was the
Samity.
thing? So there was no Samity. There was no corruption. We didn't fight anyone except for the Platinum Cross. We died, but then we came back, and this is not a farmer. This is not a rat catching farmer. This is someone that we need to protect because they have all of the information to prove us our innocence and also their guilt. And I'm pointing outside and very frantic.
Just they take a second to take all of that in and okay. Kind of looks over at Vale, who has dropped the disguise, and kind of walks over. It's true, ma'am. The Platinum Cross have been lying to everyone. And kind of puts his notes on the table. And
for years, every single adventure they've gone on is a fabrication. The whole city of Ersatz that we were at, puppets. Every single one of them puppets.
There was no Samity. It was just Vale making stuff. Being forced to make stuff.
I was going to say under duress. I did not want to do anything. I just want that on the record. As Elizabeth
under duress
getting...
and also forced to. I don't know what duress means, but yes.
Okay. As Elizabeth is kind of taking what you're saying and getting more and more frustrated as they're flipping through the pages, seeing everything that you saw as they slam their hand on the table and it splinters.
Oh,
you have got to be fucking kidding me. Okay. All right. You see now as a bit of smoke is billowing from the side of her mouth. Okay. What do you need from me? What can I do?
Well,
You get it, Artie.
Artie knows.
Can't.
Well, the only way to topple a government is to do it from the bottom up. So, we need to gather people who would believe us, allies, other members of this particular district. We're also going to attempt to convince the Corvus, as they should have seen this coming, to be honest. But anyway, they actually should have seen this coming. Anyway,
I'm going to go talk to a contact who works in the king's sort of retinue. I think that's the right word.
It's just, okay, well, I can maybe try reaching out. I am also a dragon, so, plan Z. I could just try to eat them. That's also an option.
Wait, you're an actual dragon.
Did you not know this?
No.
Watch as they
Chickens
kind of like
come from dragons?
I don't really have the answer.
Dragons
to
come
that
from
one.
eggs.
These
Are
are
we
both
can?
true.
Everything they
Sure,
said is
why
a
not?
correct thing.
Am I a
Except for the
dragon?
chicken the dragon. I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe not that last bit, but you are at least. I
I
find you
feel
very.
like I'm a dragon.
And that's what's important. As she kind of goes back into her very like motherly. Like, yeah. No. Anyway, you have whatever aid you need from me. If you have a timetable of some kind, I can try to gather some people. But ultimately, you have us, as kind of motions to the handful of other guild members who have kind of been eavesdropping in.
Nana, what you said we need to do things as fast as possible, but we also need to give people time to spread the word.
Oh yes, a day or two. I just didn't want us to spread this out for a week so that our enemies can also plan. Doing things unexpectedly is the best way of battle. Especially when
Question.
you upgrade it. Yes.
So, in simplest of terms, what is our goal?
Best case scenario, we have enough people to believe us that we can present this information to the king. And we'll have enough plausible deniability of their lies that they'll start to believe what we have told them.
And
Worst case
currently, oh no, continue.
Well, in worst case scenario, we'll have to fight.
And everybody in the town right now is kind of against us, right? Like they want our heads.
Yes, that's how propaganda works.
That
Okay.
message has been repeating for at least a couple days.
I have an idea. And it may not be the smartest idea, but I think it's the nicest idea in my head. And I'm open to criticism.
I like your ideas,
Nana.
Odd.
Thank you all. I appreciate that, Omen. Anyway. Nana. You're doing a really brave thing for us that I really don't want to think about too much right now. However, I want your name to be sung forever. And so it was mentioned that people always throw parades for the Platinum Cross, but can we throw a parade for you? And if people hate us, they'll want to come and get us, but that's also a platform for us to be able to tell people the truth all at once. And then also just see how good you really are.
And we could parade all the way up to the castle. And hopefully people would
Make a
join
lot of
us,
noise.
Or chase us. One of the two.
I'm a runner.
I mean, that, if I may, that also involves the 4 of you, or 5, depending on if Vale wants to go join in. That involves all of you going out into the public in front of everyone who hates you, and if they're not convinced, you would then have to contend with the entire of the city trying to stop you from getting to where you're trying to get.
I think that's
Is-
okay.
Isn't that what we've been doing this whole time, though? You know?
Yeah. If we don't succeed, but if we die and still don't succeed, we're still that worse heroes, but we won't know unless we try.
And I mean, we've been going out this whole time, you know. We've always been the worst heroes. So
I can make a lot of breakfast eggs. People love breakfast eggs. Sometimes they're angry because they're just hungry.
Listen,
Oh.
it's not the best plan. It's not even a great plan. It's the plan that we've got, and that's where we operate.
This is the only addendum I will make to your plan. Because we do still
Listen.
need to get more people. At the end of the day, if things truly go sideways, and any of your lives are in danger, I need you three to promise me, on the power of the sacrifice I have made, that you will blame me for what happened. I turned you into a monster. I made you attack the Platinum Cross. It was me. And I will be slain, and you will be saved. That is the only way I will accept any other answer.
That's only the worst case scenario, right?
That is a worst case scenario, yes. I don't want to
Okay, alright.
die.
No.
Death can happen when it earns me. But I absolutely, under no circumstance, will have you follow me into the darkest birdcage in the world again. Do you understand me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes,
Elizabeth?
ma'am.
And you too, Elizabeth. I don't care how old you are, or how hot you are, and how much I want to hug you sometimes. If anything goes wrong, I did it. Do you understand?
Yes.
Very good. Now, we have such lovely plans. We have to go talk to the bird people. I can't wait to see them judge us. And then you, Elizabeth, have to start spreading the word. And then we have to figure out how to get from spreading the word, turning several days of propaganda back into our favor, and then getting to the king without getting murdered. Simple.
Make paper flowers for our float.
Make paper flowers for the.
Elizabeth, do you have a copy machine?
No, but I could probably find one.
We can make copies of all of this.
It's true. This is pretty solid evidence, but at the same time,
And then we could fold them into flowers and throw them off the boat.
Oh my gosh.
True. I mean, I could also fly overhead and deliver them that way.
You could.
That's
Dragon.
really cool.
That's better than pooping on their heads. That's what I thought you were gonna say.
No, dear. My only, it's a good plan, but the only thing that lends credence to this being legitimate is them, as they point over at Vale. And even then, it's flimsy. There's no real way to convince people that this is legitimate and you haven't just fabricated this evidence.
I have a very dumb plan. I have a very dumb idea. Does anyone know how that giant projection of the greatest asshole on the planet is being pushed out?
Vale kind of like raises their hand. I mean, it's a system. It was one of my notes. Something that I thought would be interesting. It's like entertainment.
it?
A lot of people. Yeah, I did.
Good
It
deal.
was actually an invention for another one that was this like huge smoke monster that I thought was really cool, but I could never really get it off the ground. So I guess they appropriated my stuff.
I can ask Brina. She's pretty high up there. And maybe we can. Maybe she'll. Maybe. At the very least, maybe I can figure out where it's being broadcast from, and Vale, we can change the message.
If you can get me to the console, I could probably make it say whatever you want.
I think
I
that's
like
our
that.
best chance.
Okay. So looks like Vale and I are going to try and change the message. There's a lot of paper flowers that need to be made. And you need to go talk to your family.
Yeah, I talked to our god about a lot of stuff that I feel like we should probably talk about. And if the Corvus are on our side, it could change things.
Now, I'm not quite familiar with the ins and outs of your family dynamic. I know most of them are little rotten eggs, but is there anyone there that might wish you harm by chance?
Yeah.
Are you fond of them? As Nana clenches her sword.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, then we'll have to figure out another way to change their mind. Okay. I am going to stick with you, Omen. This is something you shouldn't do alone. Ati, you and our new friend figured that out. Odd.
Where do you need me, Captain?
Well, no one's as beautiful and as lovely as you. you can definitely help with more spreading of the propaganda.
I
You have
got
to
you.
find out what is a copy machine, by the way. What is this? You said it several times. I don't know.
Mimic machine.
Yeah, it's
Machine
a
of mimics?
it's like a big mimic machine, and you put some paper in, the mimic eats it, but then it gives you a whole bunch more of whatever you put into it.
Yeah, it goes like,
We've tamed mimics?
I guess so.
I'm world building on the fly.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it. The technology is here.
Yes, yes, yes. All about it.
Anyway.
You
Like
just see
collar?
Nana's for the first time. You see Nana like legit like concerned, like, oh,
I promise
okay.
not to get eaten by the mimic, okay? I'll handle
This is a
please
it.
do
weird
not.
city.
I love
Uh,
it.
Anyway, as you all split up, so that's Artie and Vale, that's Omen and Maisel, and finally that leaves Odd with Elizabeth spreading propaganda.
Should we say that the parade we're organizing starts at dusk tomorrow? Just gives us like a 24-hour. I'm imagining like 24-hour timeline.
I would say, yeah. That's
Cool.
that's all stuff that you would have planned out during the off-camera planning sessions. So we will start with Maisel and Omen. After leaving Worst House, you slowly make your way to the home of the Corvus, this huge obsidian tower circled on all sides by crows and ravens. It's this almost Eye of Sauron-esque like visage in the middle of a more than, a well-off district. And you can see that the doors are closed. You can see there are no guards. It just seems to be standing there ominously in a way. As you start to approach, you're right at the threshold. What do you do?
Nana Maisel, can I
Yes.
tell you something?
Absolutely.
Well, it's more of a question. Have you ever had something happen where you go on a long adventure, since you've been on so many long adventures, and then when you get back, you're expecting one place to feel like home, but you get that feeling somewhere else, like Worst House instead of here?
Twice in my life.
How do you deal with that?
Nana gives a gentle smile and then reaches out to grab Omen's hand.
They let
I'll
her
tell
take
you a
it.
secret. A person generally has 3 homes in their life. The one they're born into, the one they find, and the one they make. I think you found a home.
You always know what to say.
Had a couple 100 years to come up with these lovely little gestures. You'll figure it out over time. You'll come up with some funny little things like the
Thank
birds
you.
will let you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And I think in a rather un-Omen-like way, they kneel down and give you a hug, if you allow it.
Not only allow it, but Nana, for once, will use her full strength to like hug you back and kind of bury her face into your shoulder.
Omen dies.
-1 strength, they pop. Oh, that was
I will
my
s-
spine. That was nice.
Sorry.
No, it's good. Thank you.
I will say, despite the sort of cold metal exterior that is Mana Maisel's armor, there's never been a hug that has felt so warm and so inviting that you've experienced, at least. And as you sort of pull away from that hug, you watch as the doors to the home of the Corvus slowly open, as if expecting you.
Okay, that usually means we can go up now.
And they really should see this coming. Anyway, after you.
I'll protect you. Just so you know.
I know, Omen. You always have.
All right. So, where in the Corvus's home? Where are you going?
Ostensibly all the way up to see Erebus, their grandmother.
All right. You begin the 10,000 step walk up. Luckily, Maisel, there is a little electric chair that raises you all the way up. But as you continue to make your trek, more and more crows start to perch and watch you. And mind you, Omen, you know all of them by name. All of your relatives, every single member of your house is watching you. As you continue circling, rising up, you eventually make it to the end of the stairs, and you can see on both sides, flanking this hallway, are each of the individual members, or at least as many can fit in this grand hallway. They don't say a word, but you can see all of those varying metal bird masks staring at you. And Maisel, who gets off the electric chair. You're sort of left in this abject silence. What do you do?
Omen is quite used to the silence. But they're also used to the sound of feathers and crows and squawking and birds and cawing and the clack of talons against stone, and the silence of it is heavy. But Omen met God last week, and there is no sound heavier than silence. The silence that comes in the presence of divinity. And there's something different about the way that they walk. It's less sure, but more certain. More balanced. More collected. More open. And I think even to that end, Omen takes off their mask and begins to walk kind of down the center aisle, waiting for Nana Maisel. And instead of walking in front of them impatiently, as they've done in the past, or from behind to watch, they walk step in step with Nana Maisel, holding their arm out so that she can hold on to their elbow.
So you proudly march down the hallway. Having taken off your mask, a handful of the members of the Corvus, there's that slight twitch that you know means worlds, given the very stoic nature of your family. As they continue to watch you, and you eventually make it to the doors of Erebus's chamber, and you see 3 familiar figures. There is your parent, Odyssey, your sibling, Styx, and one that we have not seen before, a very small member of the Corvus, your youngest sibling, Psyche, who doesn't have a mask, at least not yet, has not earned the right, has not experienced the visions, who just looks up at you, bright-eyed as children do, and is about to speak, about to greet you, when Odyssey kind of holds out a hand. You are not welcome here, child. Not after what you've done.
I would like to talk to grandmother.
You are talking to me. You have brought great shame on this family. Years of work upended. The trust this city has in us ruined. All because you wanted to feel important.
There's no such thing as trust based on a lie. What trust?
What did you say?
There is no such thing as trust built on a lie. You would know that well, wouldn't you, Styx?
You see a Styx not wanting to be part of this conversation. Normally would meet your accusations with rage, with aggression, but in the presence of your parent, kind of has already sunk back into themselves, has started to disassociate. As you say, Styx, they, you speak not. You speak of things outside of your understanding. As Odyssey kind of turns, what do they mean? Nothing, parent, nothing. You're speaking nonsense.
I'm not speaking nonsense, Styx, and you know it. And the thing is, I understand. I understand why you did it. I think a different version of me might have done it too. Might have kept up the lie for the family. I get it. But, because you were always the golden child. But, I couldn't. Not when my friends needed me, so.
You can see that they were prepared for a screaming match, but the sort of gentleness that you brought shakes them to their core as they look up at your, collectively, the parent, Odyssey, and they speak the truth. I am the one who has brought shame to our family. I beg you, allow them to pass. As Odyssey looks over at you, your maskless face, and it's like they see you for the first time. Whether that's a good thing is still up in the air. But they see you. They turn, kind of move to the side, and you watch as Styx picks up Psyche, who kind of like offers like a little hand, like kind of reaching out.
Omen takes it, I think, squeezes. And I think even like brings Psyche's little hands over to Nana Maisel. Nana Maisel, this is my youngest sibling.
Hello there, little one.
You can see this sort of mindless child just kind of reaching out. The acknowledgement is there, and there's love in their eyes as kind of let you pass. And he sees the doors open without you having to touch them, and there sits Erebus at her desk, back to you. Then the doors close behind you, and the last thing you'd see if you looked over your shoulder is Styx as they take their mask off, and they're crying. The door shuts, and you are left with your grandparent. So we cut back over to another member of the party. Artur, you took Vale where? To the castle, or?
No. I think um I think I would go to Brina's house.
Okay.
Taking back streets, trying to remain as safe as possible. It's gonna take a few hours. So I imagine we get there kind of late. Yeah.
Sort of approaching sundown, kind of late afternoon at the earliest, as you eventually make it to Brina's house. It is this very nice building. You gather the spoils of working for the crown has paid off.
Oh yeah.
It's a small topiary. There are a handful of people working the grounds as eventually you make it to the door. They seem to be kind of minding their own business. They barely even notice you pass. Vale has already disguised themselves as eventually you make it to the door, and they remain silent but kind of looking in your direction expectantly, waiting for you to do something.
Okay. What I'm gonna tell you in the next couple minutes is going to sound so insane. But before all that, I need to apologize to you.
sees Brina is caught off guard, sort of still standing in the doorway, having opened it to you and a stranger. And there's that, you can tell they're on sort of the edge, just on the precipice of hearing you out, but there is that same hurt that holds them back as they just apologize for what, Artie?
A lot of things, but I think the most egregious sin I've committed was thinking that you had it out for me, that the world had it out for me. And because of that, I couldn't allow myself to be happy with what I had, who was around me, and the love. That I thought I didn't deserve.
You did deserve it, Artie. You deserved the love that I gave you, the love that you find. I'm sorry. I'm having trouble wrapping my head around this. Why are you here? I've seen all the propaganda. They've been churning it out day after day.
That's
Had
what,
to work double shifts.
Well, that's what we're here for. All of it is a lie, and not just what they're saying, it's everything. This whole society, everything that Relay has been built on has been built on a foundation of shit. I don't care what they're saying about me, but I need to make it right. We need to fix this because it's broken. And I know broken. And I'll motion over to Vale.
Just Vale kind of walks over and everything he's saying is true. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, kind of takes out the notes. Goes through explaining everything.
Before that, I'll look around. Can we come inside?
Come on. You see, despite everything, Brina believes you, or at least has some form of faith in you in this moment, having jumped immediately into this head first. She takes a deep breath and closes the door. So what? Everything is a lie. The Platinum Cross has been lying. They've been faking things. As kind of going through the papers after Vale explained.
Yeah, all the notes and all the explanation and everything. At the end of all that, and so with all of this, we're trying to tell everyone. I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but at dusk we are going to march up and convince, hopefully, those with the most power to ask for change, or at least bring those lying assholes to justice so that they can't hide anymore. And so, I mean, you've been working day and night, double shifts, up at the castle, hoping that maybe a little bit. We can tell the people. We can replace what Sog has been saying. We don't need to convince everyone. We just need to convince
Just a few people, maybe, as many as possible. I can probably pull a few strings. I don't have access to those areas, at least not what I'm assuming you're asking for, which is the main control, or at least the people responsible. I can get you close, but I can't. I don't. I'm scared, Artie. All of this is a lot.
close is all we need. And it's okay that you're scared. I'm scared, but that's what bravery is, right? It took me this long to figure out. I'm trying to live up to someone's image of me. Maybe it was yours at one point too.
See as she kind of sits and contemplates a plan of some kind, formulating ideas, and amidst all of that, there's a small break, and she looks at you right in your eyes, and there's this sort of softness to her gaze, and she says, "Brave looks good on you, Artie. It always has." As she continues to rattle off. You see his veil is kind of pointing out various traps, things that they might have, but ultimately the two of them default back to you. And okay, that's everything I know. What exactly is your plan?
Well, being in the control area, I'm hoping that we're able to replace the message that's playing right now with something with the truth that Vale is going to present, because all of this is nothing without Vale. Vale's going to repeat what we've just explained to you, and then there's going to be a call to action. Starting at Worst House will be a parade, and we are marching right up to the castle, gathering as many folks as possible, and with that many people, we're hoping that our voices won't be ignored.
They are powerful people, Artie. It's scary the amount of weight their word has in this city. I can get you in the door. I can get you as far as I can, but ultimately this is gonna fall on the two of you and then on your group, and I'm just worried about I'm worried about you. She kind of throws that out and just promise me you'll stay safe. If worse comes to worse and things go off the rail, please just go.
I can't make another promise that I might need to break. This is bigger than me.
I thought so. Well, I am ready to leave when you are. Whenever you need me.
I'll look over at Vale.
He's been like kind of fidgeting with things on the shelf to not be in this moment with the two of you.
Figured, yeah.
We can go.
All right.
So, for the sake of expediency, as you have every advantage in this instance, save for relying on your own personal skill, I will need 3 stealth checks from you.
All right.
That will get you along this journey.
All right. Here we go. Level 3. Level 3. Level 3. Okay, that's not bad. That is a dirty 20 on the first one.
Alrighty. So.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna go one after the
Okay,
other.
cool.
All right. So with a dirty 20, you and your allies walk all the way up to the castle, having not been seen, still maintaining a bit of disguise, as Vale themselves has sort of taken on the look of a castle guard, not a Platinum Cross member, but one that kind of carries a little bit more weight. As they walk up, they manage to, at least Brina manages to convince the two standing guards to part the way and lead the two of you in, sort of rattling off that you are, you're one of the technicians, you're one of the people here to work on it to make sure there's supposedly some kind of glitch, and she doesn't want to be the one to explain that to Saga if things go awry. If the city falls to demons, that's not my problem, as eventually, much in the way of, the beginning, they are not paid enough to or prepared enough for this, as they lead you into this castle and you walk beneath the threshold, beneath the archways, and there's so much less life to the place than when you walked under for your ceremony. Give me your second roll.
Okay. This is still stealth?
This would be still stealth, yeah.
Okay. It's not as good. That is a 16 total.
With a 16, you start to walk the halls. You notice by this point, there are Platinum Cross members, pseudo-members, we'll say, on 5 feet from each other, going down the halls, watching the windows. There are very few actual guards in here, as they kind of give you an eye, but are unsure whether or not to call you on it, as you continue to walk alongside Vale and Brina, who kind of snaps and makes sure they're all kind of keeping at their post. By this point, you're walking through through the palace, past the parts that you had not had access to previous. You had been mostly sticking to the foyer and that one private room. You can see now the various suites, the kitchens, the libraries, and the sovereign's chambers. And you can see there are 2 guards, as well as 1 proper member of the Platinum Cross. And so they kind of eye you. You gather this is the rogue. You can see the sort of very stereotypical, like, black leather, the belts, the harnesses, the knives, a constant scowl. They are everything you essentially wished you could have been long, long ago, but as you kind of look at it, you're like, okay, it's a little cringe. As you walk past, and they kind of eye you and start tailing you for just a little bit. I'll need you to make 1 more stealth check.
Okay. Go. Yeah. Oh no. That's 7 total. It's a 3. It's a 3 on the die. Plus 4 gives me 7.
You watch as they walk up to you.
This is fine. I got this.
Grab your shoulder and turn you around. And who are you?
Would you like to know, weather boy? And I am going to activate my rage.
Huh?
Yeah. Secret barbarian.
Secret barbarian.
Secret barbarian.
Oh my god!
How are you? It's the ultimate episode. How are you gonna tell that you have a level of barbarian here and now?
Okay, you rage. What does this look like? What are you managed to catch them by surprise? What is going on?
Okay, so the part of the rage is mostly just getting startled and surprised, not at being found out or being confronted with the member of the Platinum Cross, but in being inspired mostly by the showing that Nana had for all of us. It's this bout of courage and bravery and wanting to protect these 2 people I'm with, Brina and Vale, that give me this burst of righteous fury that caused me to act without thinking, just solely on impulse, to activate my rage as I take whatever the hilt of my dagger into the solar plexus of this the member of the Platinum Cross. And as I do,
right.
I yell I yell to Brina and Vale, go now, nothing's changed.
They immediately take your advice and run, leaving you to essentially sucker punch this guy with the back of your dagger. Roll to hit with advantage.
Advantage. Okay, that's not too bad. That's better. 18 to hit.
That hits. Again, they're rogue.
Oh man. Ow, my cat just bit my toe. Oh.
Secret roll damage.
Okay,
Secret Barbarian is wild.
Yeah. Okay, so that hits. Well, let's see. How much is damage for a dagger?
D4, I think. D4 plus dex.
D4 plus dex. Luckily, my dex is not too bad. It's okay. That's a 4. 4 on damage.
4 on damage. All right. You manage to just strike them directly in the chest. They crumple over, and you can see that sort of like, I'm mysterious facade kind of falls away as they are now kind of crumpled on the ground. Guards! Get your asses over here! As they are now kind of charging these other two. You watch as Brina and Vale disappear around the corner, leaving you in this moment. Roll me initiative.
Oh, initiative. Okay, hold on. Oh, I have stuff. I've been wanting to activate this sheet for the longest time. Okay, initiative, something left to be desired. 13 total.
Alrighty. Weirdly enough, you go first. There are currently 2 guards running from their posts. I rolled like 2 below 10s and then an 11. I don't know what you want from me.
Okay.
One of the below 10s was like a 3, and that was the rogue, as they're on the ground just crumpled. But you take it. You are first in the order. What do you want to do?
Okay. I am going to. Is this guy still yelling?
He is currently yelling for the others. He's like still conscious, but like that really took it out of him.
Okay. I'm gonna try and take out this as. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna continue hitting this thing. This rogue. I have. Let's see. I have things that I want to do. Really play up Tales of the Valiant here. Okay, I am going to invoke the focus of the bear and give myself while I'm reading it. While raging, you can use a bonus action to gain temporary hit points equal to your barbarian level plus your con modifier. So I'm going to gain, what is my con modifier? Okay. I'm gonna gain 6 temporary hit points.
Very nice.
And while I have any of these temporary hit points, I have advantage on attack rolls made with melee weapons.
Okay. So you have advantage. I guess you have double advantage on this man who is on the ground.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, you had it anyway.
Okay. And that's nat 20.
Oh god.
That's nat.
Alrighty, hit me with it.
Okay. Okay.
So this is roll your damage and then the total just double it.
Okay. Roll damage and then the total just double that. Okay.
Yeah.
That is 10 points total because I rolled 5 on the dice and double that. Oh, sorry. 3 on the dice plus 2, 5, double that.
So 10. Got it. Jesus Christ. Let's see how he's holding up.
You did 20 points of damage. I was like, what the?
So, as you just... what does your attack look like? I want to get an idea.
I don't want to kill this person. But at the same time, it's like this dude has created so much, like is part of the injustices that our society faces. I think I'm taking both my hands and the blunt end of the dagger on top of his head.
Okay. He's still conscious, mind you, but is now kind of holding his forehead. And in this instance, you see just how pathetic this guy is. You could see a lot of, weirdly enough, yourself in him, as a lot of their persona has been built up as this mighty assassin who's killed thousands in the last decade, a hero of the darkness, as he's just kind of crying on the ground, having been struck twice.
you broke my nose.
Yeah, just as the guards kind of run up. These ones, not at all, facade. These are people who are actually trained.
Oh,
as they kind of look over at their leader on the ground, and there's a bit of hesitation there. You managed to clock that. I'll give that to you for free.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to do with your turn?
Let's see. I got that's bonus action. I don't want to move. I think as a free action, I'm going to lead them away from where Brina and I'm not running away. I'm just getting into more advantage, like getting them to face me and not the direction that Brina and Vale went.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So, with that, the turn order shifts over to the rogue who is on the ground. As they get up and are kind of holding their nose that is now profusely bleeding, they take out a dagger and are going to charge you. And they rolled it. You've got to be fucking kidding.
Oh no!
So they rolled a 10. Does that hit?
No, I'm a barbarian with no armor.
Okay, so as they run up trying to jab at you, you just kind of move out of the way. As the tears in their eyes kind of throws off their aim, and they just.
Yeah, I think this is like my first ever real fight. So it's more of a flinch than it is the dodge,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of offering off instinct.
Yeah.
They kind of dive forward and look over towards you, as that leads us to the other two guards who run up and. Sir, who is this? As they're currently just kind of yelling through their broken nose, just
Intruder, get him!
Hold on, wait. Who is this? Your worst nightmare.
You know what? Roll me intimidation.
Oh, okay.
Because, mind you, these people don't know what's going on with the rogue. So in my mentality, they watched you, a man who appeared essentially out of nowhere, walked past them, has now taken down one of the most skilled assassins in the entire world.
15.
15.
15.
Well, it's not like they're all that. Okay, they're not that intelligent. They look at you and kind of back up a little bit. They still have their spears trained on you, but neither one of them wants to approach. And it's not like the rogue can say anything. Otherwise, their entire facade breaks down as they just.
You got the drop on me. Just
Do something! As they continue to stand firm, and it runs back to your turn.
Okay. Would I still be beating on this nerd? Yeah, I'm raging. Yeah, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. And then, so yeah, I think, bit of desperation, a bit of recklessness. The adrenaline is just, and I'll run in and tackle this dude. I'm not trying to go for a grapple. I'm just using the force of my body, my lanky body, to by invoking the animal focus of the tiger. While raging, when I use my action to dash, I can use a bonus action to make a melee weapon attack. I gain a +5 bonus to the attack and damage rolls.
All right.
Yeah. This is cool. I like this. Really cool. Like the tiger.
This is fucking dope. I love this.
Yeah.
As you charge up on the rogue.
All right, 16 plus the 5, 9. Was that 21?
This man has an armor class of 13 on a good day. I don't know what you wanted from me.
Okay. Okay, that's a 2 on the die for damage. 2 plus another 2 plus the 5. 11. Secret barbarian!
Secret barbarian, Christ. Seeing as you don't want to kill this person, presumably, what does this look like as you knock his ass unconscious?
Oh, it's an RKO for sure. It's
Oh!
something. It's an RKO, and it gets knocked out. I'm not again not trying to kill this guy. Knocked out. I scramble back up to my feet and then cock a fist back to like expecting to get back up, and he's not getting back up. I look back at the other 2 guards. You don't want to mess with me.
They drop their weapons and run. I'm gonna give it to you after that. Jesus. They start charging down the halls, ringing the alarms. You have maybe a few minutes until everybody is aware that you're here. There is still the rogue just on the ground, unconscious, but ultimately, Brina and Vale, you're not really sure where they are. You can only hope that they made it.
Yeah.
But you are just now alone in this hallway, essentially.
I think I'm going to cause enough of a commotion away from from where Brina had described us to be going. I want to distract as much as possible away from that, and hopefully lose anyone that's tailing me into the night as I try. Like, I'm gonna trust Brina. I'm gonna trust Vale. Maybe I'll circle back to her place after a few hours or something like that. But I think it's drawing this much attention is probably best if used this productively.
All right. I will say roll me. This would be probably performance to get as much attention as you're trying to get, while also remaining kind of like away from, getting murdered.
11.
11?
Yeah.
I continue to roll real well. All right, well, as you're kind of, causing this commotion, a lot of the guards have started to follow you, but luckily enough, as this continues for as long as you can keep it up, you eventually do lose them. And as they sort of start to scatter, looking for the figure who came in, RKO'd the greatest rogue of all time, and then left, presumably for some reason, they have essentially put a sort of like alarm out. They're looking for you, they're looking for your group, but you gather security around the castle is going to be a lot more intense.
Okay. I hope that was the right call. I would not be surprised if they died. But yeah, I'm circling back to Brina's house for the foreseeable future, and then meeting up with the group back at Worst's house after that.
So, I will say, as the night drags on, Vale and Brina don't come back.
Okay.
They don't circle back. You don't see them. You're just sort of left there, sitting in the moonlight, waiting for them to come back, or circling around. As eventually we sort of cut back over and resume conversation with Erebus, Maisel, Omen. The doors have shut, and Erebus sits in the silence. You could see the 2 birds, each with that sort of bright, otherworldly eye, staring down at the 2 of you. She's not even really working on anything. She's just sitting.
And for all of the confidence that Omen had been able to kind of pick up in that other long hallway, I think the nervousness, the habit of it, and it is a habit, they're not even conscious that they're doing it, but Nana Maisel, you would be aware of it. The little the tipping of the mask, the pulling, the feathers ruffling, the little click of their fingers, the many silver rings on them kind of clacking as though they were their own talons as they shift under the gaze of their grandmother. And I think still politely they incline their head as they would want to do, although unlike many other times they don't press their head all the way down to the concrete. They just incline their head, and almost as though they were greeting someone on a normal day for coffee, Omen starts with, "I met God."
can see, turn, and your grandmother is not wearing a mask. You can see she's not nearly as well put together as you are accustomed to. It looks like she's been up for days. As they turn, and rather than meeting you with hostility or with accusations, she just says, "Were they polite?"
No. But I think I love them. I forgave them.
Then you most definitely met God. Why are you
Did you-
here?
Did you mean what you said? In the vision?
What do you mean?
That you love me?
On that, she rises. She towers over you. Kind of glides across the ground until eventually, about halfway, she stops gliding and takes a step on the cold concrete. Walks along the stonework up to you, and she seems so human, and she says, "I did. I do."
Did you know?
I have foreseen much of this. I saw you, your group, at its center. I saw the city burning, and I thought, at first, if I perhaps ignored you, I could save our city from this fate, but one often meets their destiny on the path they take to avoid it. And I realize now, my vision was not one of apocalyptic intent. The system is flawed, and it must be dealt with if change is to occur. All of it must burn.
You taught me a long time ago when I was still a fledgling in the net that we see disaster and apocalypse and we take names after death and rivers and the future. Because it is part of living to die. This is Nana Maisel.
Hello.
She's dying for me. And I love her very dearly. And I will miss her very much. But I know that wherever she goes, the end is never really the end.
You have learned a lot, having spoken with God. Though part of me believes this was always ingrained in you, child.
You taught it to me.
Then going to impart another lesson. It is not enough to embrace death, but one must live a full life and appreciate its many details, its many eccentricities. Death is not the end, nor is it the entire story.
I'm not sure what I want my story to be now. I haven't seen it, and it's very possible that I will never live the story that you or anyone else in the hall want for me. I think I will live a very different life.
You can see your grandmother unraveling decades of culture, of belief. And she finally says, maybe that isn't a bad thing. Our family sees the future, and it's put us in a very interesting position. We are always expecting, but never appreciating. And for that, I'm sorry. You have learned something that the members of our family never even approach, and that is to appreciate the moment, not what that moment will become. And while there is much hurt that our family and I have caused you, I humbly ask for you to impart some of that knowledge to us, to teach us how to live.
Maybe we can just learn together.
I would like that.
The Reaper has 3 faces. The past, the present, and the future. And I think that we've been wearing... Omen kind of lifts up their silver mask that they had been holding at their side and traces the lines of it with one of their hands. I think we've only been wearing one face. But right now, I like to be in the present with you.
I'd like to be in the present with you too.
I think we're going to overthrow the Platinum Cross tomorrow if you'd like to come.
For the first time in a while, I don't know what tomorrow brings. So I imagine my schedule is pretty free.
Me neither.
Just as they kind of approach gingerly, and I love you, Omen. As they are kind of like hesitantly going in for a hug, whether you choose to accept it. Not in an awkward way, but more in a, I don't want to ruin what is the progress we've made thus far.
Omen accepts the hug. But it is very different from the hug that they shared with Nana Maisel. And they think of that, the 3 faces of the Reaper and the 3 homes that Nana Maisel described to them earlier. Past the home that you're born into, the present, the home that you find, and the future, the home that you make. They feel all of the pieces of themselves starting to align, the phases of the moon becoming full, slowly, over and over. The hug is warm, and it is full of love, and it is full of heart. Oh, the future holds so much that they don't know, and they never will until it happens. And they breathe into the feathers around their grandmother's neck. And in that breath, they exhale the part of them that had died way back in that pop-up city and breathe in a future that they get to choose for themselves.
And the two of you stand there embracing Nana Maisel, bearing witness to it. The doors to Erebus's chambers start to open slowly, and you can see the vastness of the Corvus. A little confused, but otherwise receptive to anything you might have to say. And what the future may hold. As we pull back down the stairs, we sort of fly up into the sky, following one of the crows. As eventually it coasts up past the cloud top and lands on the castle. And we see, standing on one of the balconies, is Saga, surveying the city as if it were his throne. There is a beat where they just stand there. They take a deep breath in and look over to the rogue. As they walk over and they begin to explain, I don't know what happened. They got the drop on me. They have people on the inside. They have allies. It's not my fault. I did everything. In fact, it might just be there. As they kind of start deflecting, they start pointing fingers, and Saga walks up, takes the dagger that was on the table in hand, the one that presumably the rogue had placed, the one that they had been gifted, the one that they wield, and they drive it through their abdomen. As Saga says, you talk too much. Now is the time for action. So they just push them over out of their chair. And you can see the other members of the Platinum Cross. This is not a look of a reverent leader, one that they hold in high regard. This is someone they fear. And while they might have known them long ago, whoever that person was is gone. As he looks down at the dagger, his own face reflected in the crimson. And we cut. And that's where we end this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of The Worst Heroes You Know. Unfortunately, due to some tech issues, our dear friend Odd had to drop. And we will be carrying on with what they got up to next episode. But I just want to thank you all for being here. I am HamaSamaKun, your Dungeon Master for the evening. You can find me at HamaSamaKun. That's HamaSamakun on all social media platforms. That includes TikTok, for however long that lasts, Instagram, and the other ones, YouTube, which is probably where you're watching this. But this has been amazing. You guys have been wonderful. I'm going to pass it on over to Kappa.
Oh, it's me. Hi, everyone. My name is Kappa. Christian is okay too. Oh my goodness, this episode already! Woo! Okay. Oh, if you like what you saw today, you can find me on the internet at the Kappa Chris. I just just vibe on the internet. But that's probably the best place to find me if you want to work with me.
Lovely. Lamar, take it away.
Top of the morning to you, last is both neither, and everyone in between. My name is Lamar, the con guy, Lamar, the con guy. I do everything on the internet and on stage that gives me attention. If you would like to see me, please follow me. I'm Linktree Lamar the Con Guy, LamarTheConGuy.com. Every social media made before 2023. Lamar the Con Guy. Just remember, it's Lemar, not La. That is the wrong way to spell my name. It's even though it's the more common one, and that's the one everyone says it is, and that's because people are mean, okay? And I love playing Nanomazel and causing emotional damage with love.
And finally, C, take us home.
Hi. This episode brought to you by Rats and Breaking Generational Curses. My name is C. I use they them pronouns, and you can find me anywhere across the internet at C Plays RPG. If you liked what I did here tonight, which was Rats and Breaking Generational Curses, you can find me all across the internet. Like I said, I'm doing this really backward. I confused myself. You can find me at C Plays RPG. You can always find me every Saturday on Transplant RPG. Doing the Chaos Protocol, doing any other stuff. Go watch God Killer Last Hope, buy this hat from my merch store, and you know, see me in other stuff. I'm doing other stuff. Check it out. But also check us out here for season 2 of this, which you should fund personally.
Which you should
You should
absolutely fund. The person watching this right now.
This personally.
Yeah.
You specifically watching this video, whoever
You.
made it this long into the credits, just saying,
Ko-fi
like-
me $20 and it's going into the fund.
you can
Scout's
find
honor.
specifically C's Ko-Fi in the
Yep.
link. Give them $20. We do a season 2.
And also the player that couldn't make it to the end of the episode, Sam. You can find Sam on Twitter at justsam, JUSTSEUM, or on Blue Sky at let's see, hold on, I have it up at it's Sam.
Yeah,
Oh,
Sam.
seum.bsky.social, or seum.tv for any of their live streams.
True. And you can also check them out on Wounded Warrior Project, which is the channel that they help out, or the project that I don't know a whole lot about this, but all you should know is that it helps out veterans. It's a great place. I was on one of their charity one-shots, and it was a lot of fun. I played a warlock, and I had like a best friend who was a demon. And did you know that like the latest version of D&D made like familiars weirdly powerful?
Yeah, they did.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
They
Well,
did more work than I did.
They brought all the other familiars up to the same level as owls. Just a heads up, because owls were super broken. But anyway,
I had an imp, man, did like 15. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Remember, fun season 2. Bye everyone. See you next time for more generational trauma.